p.m. for the next few weeks. Please check in even if you were just listening. This will let Ron know that there is still interest in the net. Low check-ins could mean the net will be canceled altogether. Net control is Ron Manson, W1SSF. Let me reset. This is K1SEW with more bulletins and announcements. November is the 11th at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Radio Adventurers of Maine will have portable operations at Lisbon, American Legion Post number 158. It's located at 10 Webster Road in Lisbon. Excuse me, one second. Sorry about that. Let's see here. The American Legion Post is located at 10 Webster Road in Lisbon. All are welcome to stop by. For more information, you can listen to the Sunday Evenings Net at 8 p.m. on the KQ1L link system or go to their webpage, www.k1aom.us. And October is the start of applications for the Andrew Scoggin ARC Scholarships for many Maine high school students who plan on attending college. This scholarship is for $1,000 for a 4-year or $500 for a 2-year college. The application has to be done online at the website below, and that is www.awrl.org/scholarship-program. All applications must be completed by February 1st of 2013. Any questions, please email Ivan Lazor at his email n1oxa@awrl.net. Let me reset. And this is K1SEW again with one more bulletin. The ARRL Bulletin 24, ARLB024 from ARRL Headquarters, Newington, Connecticut, October 26, 2012, to all radio amateurs. Earlier this month, the FCC released a notice of proposed rulemaking proposing to amend the Part 97 rules governing the amateur radio service. On October 24th, the summary of the NPRM was published in the Federal Register, and the FCC is seeking comments. The Commission is proposing to modify the amateur radio service rules to grant examination credit for expired and beyond the grace period for renewal amateur radio licenses, and to shorten the grace period during which an expired amateur license may be renewed, to revise the time a call sign is not available to the vanity call sign system correspondingly, and to reduce the number of volunteer examiners needed to administer an amateur license examination. The NPRM also seeks for comment on amending the rules to permit remote test administration and proposes to amend the amateur radio service rules to allow amateur stations to transmit certain additional emission types. Let me reset. And comments must be filed on or before December 21st, 2012. Reply comments must be filed on or before January 22nd of 2013. Instructions on how to file comments are listed in the beginning page, number 12 of the NPRM. Now, I do have a website for the NPRM. However, it's very long, and if you want to email me at k1sew@awrl.net, I can forward you the link. And if you are responsible for a Hamfest or other events, please make sure to send your listing in as soon as you have the date and other information. All information goes to Bill Crowley, K1NIT. He's our main section public information coordinator. His email is k1nit@arrl.net or by phone at 623-9075. And with that, back to net, K1SEW.
Well, great job there, Joy. Thank you very much. That's a lot of good information, and that can help out a lot for a lot of people. So let's go right over to, is there anybody out there that has any questions for any repeats on the bulletins whatsoever for Joy this evening? Your call sign, please. Okay, not hearing none. Joy, you did a great job. I'll give you a few moments to go ahead and gather your notes and put them aside and grab a fresh cup of tea and come on back. Thank you again for doing the bulletins and announcements this evening. Okay, moving right along. This is W1LWT. My name is Lee, and this is the Radio Adventures of MainNet. And let's see, K1WTX. Good evening, Jerry. I know you got a pocket full of information. What do you have for us this evening?
K1LWT, K1WTX. Well, I do have a packet of information here, Lee, but it's probably nothing much that people haven't already heard. But I do have the forecast discussion from the Weather Service, and perhaps some of their terming says it all, or says it best. But from the National Weather Service in gray, and no update this evening, so I guess things have not changed since 2:48 this afternoon. But in the overall synopsis, Hurricane Sandy will move north off the east coast before taking a turn to the west over the mid-Atlantic states. Heavy rain and strong winds will spread into New Hampshire and Maine on Monday as the system moves inland and weakens. The remnant low will drift across the northeast United States through the remainder of the week, keeping rain chances in the forecast. And for tonight, the easterly flow has brought mid and low-level clouds into the county warning area today, and they do expect this to continue with light drizzle and some fog setting up, especially along coastal locations. Those easterly winds will slowly increase overnight as Sandy pushes north and the pressure gradient increases. Let me reset. Short term, Monday through tomorrow night, models do continue to have very good agreement with regards to Sandy. However, there are still many little things to be resolved. The current track has Sandy making landfall along the New Jersey coast tomorrow afternoon, and even though the storm center will be hundreds of miles to our south, the effects of the storm will begin to arrive in northern New England tomorrow afternoon. And in their words, the wind field with this system is one of the most impressive in recent history. By 1800 Zulu tomorrow, those 925 millibar winds in excess of 50 knots will extend northward from the center of the storm all the way to the mid-coast of Maine. And the low-level jet is coming onshore, will increase during the day and continue through tomorrow night. And they will hoist a high wind warning right now. They have a high wind watch out for the entire county warning area. And while the wind may not mix down to the surface at all locations, there will be other factors that will come into play that will help the wind reach the surface. The heaviest of the rain will likely coincide with the strongest winds, and this heavy rain will also help to drag the higher winds down to the surface, even if only for a brief time. And the wind field should begin to weaken by Tuesday morning as the pressure gradient begins to relax a bit. WTX continuing, and the GFS and the European models are in general agreement across the region into the upcoming weekend. Cold air will gradually work into the forecast area from the south and west on the backside of the upper low, but overall temperatures will average above normal for the week. And we'll begin the period with the upper low situated over the mid-Atlantic region, and this low will meander northward, then finally offshore by next weekend. In the daily outlooks, the surface low will be centered in the vicinity of southern Pennsylvania on Tuesday, with an onshore flow and upslope producing periods of rain with gusty southeasterly winds. By Wednesday, the surface low has drifted north to upstate New York with gusty southerly flow and precip gradually diminishing. And although the upslope should continue to produce more persistent rains along the higher terrain, by Thursday the low will have drifted northward into southern Ontario province, with a southerly breeze along with clouds and scattered showers for our area. And on Friday, the weakening system will finally drift eastward into New England with clouds and scattered showers. And rising heights in the upper low sliding offshore will offer improvement in time for next weekend, when high pressure builds by to our south on Saturday and a cold front will drop south across the area early Sunday. Mariners out there over the short term, the easterly flow will begin to increase tonight as the seas start to pick up a bit, and winds will continue increasing through tomorrow, and they'll leave a storm warning in place as winds tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night will gust to 60 to 70 knots. They do expect the seas to come up around 20 feet in the open waters, with 10 to 15 foot seas possible in the bays. Over the long term for Tuesday, the southeasterly gales will diminish to small craft advisories, and on Wednesday through Thursday, the small craft advisory winds and seas will be likely. The hydrology section of the forecast discussion, they will hoist a flood watch for all of the county warning area except the coastal zones. And although the models are only indicating 1 to 3 inches of rain across most of our county warning area, there could be other issues. The primary reason for the watch will be the strong and persistent low-level easterly jet that sets up tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. With abundant moisture to work with, the upslope flow over the higher terrain of Maine and New Hampshire may produce local rainfall approaching 5 inches. And with tides and coastal flooding, we'll move the coastal flood watch to a coastal flood warning with this issuance. The projected storm surge for most of the coastline is expected to be 2 to 4 feet tomorrow and tomorrow night, and the greatest threat for coastal flooding will be around the time of the 2 high tides tomorrow. However, even in between those tides, there could be some splashover and beach erosion as very high seas begin to pound the coastline. To finalize, for Maine, we have high wind warning from 2 p.m. tomorrow to 8 a.m. Tuesday. We'll have a flood watch up from Monday afternoon through Tuesday afternoon, and likewise for New Hampshire. And for the Mariners, that's storm warning from 5 o'clock tomorrow morning to 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. And with that, let's see, the last thing I saw about Sandy was that it was projected to make landfall around Atlantic City, New Jersey, around 2 o'clock Tuesday morning. And it'll exit our region, believe it or not, just northwest of Coburn Gore around Tuesday morning. And we'll have winds down to around 30 miles an hour. It'll be just a tropical depression at that time. But it looks likely that Sandy is going to be affecting us right into next weekend. That's the way it looks. K1WTX, back to net.
Okay, Jerry, thank you very much. That's a lot of good information. I did have 5 questions, and believe it or not, you covered them all, except for one. Is there any plans, heads up, on having a Skywarn net activated prior or during the storm?
To answer that question, they are asking for Skywarn operators to come down between 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and I guess into the wee hours of Wednesday morning if anybody's available. I don't know. Ken and I talked briefly about that. I don't know if Ken would be able to make it or not. He's got some car repairs ongoing early tomorrow, I think, and into Tuesday possibly. But I'll probably be best served staying right here in the bunker due to my location, especially on VHF. But we may be able to get someone to get down there. But they are asking for volunteers to come down and operate ham radio there at the GYX office. But we will certainly have an activation, whether it's from out here in the field or from the office early, K1WTX.
Okay, very good, Jerry. Yep, that's good information because, like myself, many others out there, we're going to be traveling, going to work and working in the storm out there, different areas in Maine, either northeast, south, or west, or wherever it may be. And having the two-way off the HT or mobile in the vehicle can come in handy throughout the storm, especially information about floods or heavy rain coming or maybe trees across the road, things like that. That information we hear from Skywarn comes in real handy. All right, thank you very much there, Jerry. And anything else you have, please bring forward when I come to the open part of the net. Anything you want to mention about hurricanes that we haven't covered yet, or information about weather itself. Okay, thank you very much there, Jerry. And I'll hold all the questions for you after the open part of the net there coming up. Okay, KG1Q, QSL Manager and Webmaster. What would you have for our information about our net tonight for everything you do there?
W1L WTKG1Q here for a quick report, and we'll get her back to the net. More important things going on here tonight with Hurricane Sandy coming aboard, but we've got a couple of electronic QSOs to report from the Whiskey 1 Alpha event. A couple of new ones came in this week, and the website is updated with the November 11th portable operation at Lisbon. And there's also a picture there of the front of the Legion post. So we will be all aboard for that. I'm hoping everyone can make it. For more information, you can go to the website at www.k1aom.us and click on next event. And that's coming up November 11th. We're also planning an ad hoc portable outing at some point, and more information to follow on the email on that. And I'll probably send out an emailer, probably this weekly, with to my mailing list for the K1AOM mailing list with the information on the activation of the post for November 11th, very special day, of course. Let's see here. No other contacts to report from any of the special events. Just a couple electronic QSLs, no cards received. That is the web page and QSL report. Leave back to that.
Very good there, Mark. Very good information. And thank you for doing the web page and keeping that updated, and the QSL cards. You're doing a super job there. That really helps out as a group moves forward, keeping things organized and moving along like that. Let's see. I do have one question. What is the antenna you're planning to operate with that day? Personally, I'm going to be setting up a G5RV at about 34 feet in the air at the top of it, and coming down as an inverted V. That's going to be my main operating antenna. What are you planning for that day? Just to let people know. And so we're going to have two operating stations there. And what can you inform us of what you're going to be operating with?
Well, let's see. We'll probably be bringing the 80-meter off center fed dipole lead. And we're also going to bring a brand new fan dipole for 12 and 17. I figured I'd work the ARC bands while the rest of the group probably worked the 2015s and 10s, the more common bands. I thought I'd bring along a brand new antenna to try out, so I'm looking forward to that. And so that's and I don't know if I'll bring a loop. I might have the wire with me, but I may not deploy it. But I did have some good success with the loop that I put up the last time we were down there. But it'll probably be a combination of the fan dipole and the off-center fit dipole, requiring two tie points. Lee, Roger.
Very good, very good. All right. Well, I am going to, we are going to have certificates for anybody that shows up and operates with us. And so we'll have certificates like we did before, back in March. We'll also, next week on the net, I'll go ahead and announce some frequencies that we're going to be working with. I'm going to announce the 20 meter and the 40 meter one for next week. And so, Mark, if you want to come up with some frequencies on other bands, you're more than welcome to. Let me know by email, and we'll kind of put something together so we have a list for next Sunday night. A list of frequencies, and I can send out on an email list to all amateurs throughout the state of Maine on what frequencies we'll be on throughout the day. And of course, things can change depending on the conditions too. So, but something to start off with, including VHF and including Echolink. I'm going to take care of the Echolink and the VHF one, so I'll have that frequencies too. Okay, Mark, and let me know on email. All right, and let's see, Bob, W1LTX. What do you have for DX reports? I know you had a busy past few days. We've all been talking somewheres throughout the amateur frequencies. So what can you share with us? W1LWT over to W1LTX.
Well, Lee, first of all, good evening, and good evening to all aboard today. W1LTX here. Well, for me to go through everything, Lee, you'd have to get more than a cup of coffee. You'd have to get a pot of coffee, because we definitely got a lot of contacts, probably close to 40 of them. We filled up one complete page and about a half another one, I guess, on the logbook. But we're not going to go through all of them because